7 years, no conviction, in a case that refuses to die. In a courtroom in Fort Lauderdale, a decision is quietly building, one that could change everything. Because the man at the center of it all isn't just any defendant, he's YNW Melly. And the question now isn't just what happened, it's whether he should be free while the truth is still unresolved. Back in October 2018, two lives were cut short. Christopher Thomas and Anthony Williams, close friends, trusted names, dead after what was supposed to be a normal night in the studio. What followed didn't look like murder, at least not at first. A drive-by shooting. That's what authorities were told. But investigators would later claim something far darker, something staged. Years passed. A trial finally came, and then silence. No verdict, no closure. Just a mistrial in 2023 after jurors couldn't agree on what really happened. Behind the scenes, whispers grew louder, allegations of witness tampering, conflicting stories. A case that seemed to twist every time it got close to the truth. And all the while, Melly remained locked away.
Just had the mistrial called, and I need to have both of your reactions.
Obviously, we want to thank the jury for their great efforts that they've extended over this period of time. But we are somewhat disappointed that Melly is not walking out the door with us. That's all I can say for right now.
And David, do you have anything you want to say further?
I don't really have much to add except to say that the jury did pay attention. We asked them to do a lot, and they hung in there and gave it its best effort. Their best effort is the most we could ask of them. So.
And what are your next steps as far as Melly is concerned? Are there going to be any efforts to try to get him out on bond?
We're not at liberty to discuss that at this point.
What are you at liberty to discuss? Can you tell us anything about next steps?
No.
Okay, thank you so much. We really appreciate you coming.
Off the top at 6, we begin with a stunning development in the double murder trial of YNW Melly.
After days of deliberations, the jury was deadlocked, leading the judge to declare a mistrial. And Local 10's Joseph Ojo was at the courthouse in Fort Lauderdale with reaction. And what happens next?
And decisions ending after 3 days, with the jury not able to come up with a unanimous decision to decide the fate of YNW Melly.
I'm going to just declare mistrial.
After considering all the facts, jurors in YNW Melly's double murder trial unable to come up with a unanimous decision Saturday. On Friday, they asked for cell phone records and told the judge they were deadlocked. Melly's defense team thanking the jury for their efforts throughout the trial, but adding they were expecting a different result.
We are somewhat disappointed that Melly is not walking out the door with us.
Melly, whose real name is Jamel Demons, is accused of murdering Christopher Thomas Jr. and Anthony Williams in October of 2018. Surveillance video shows the group leaving a Fort Lauderdale recording studio that night, and prosecutors say Melly shot and killed Williams and Thomas soon after.
Jamel Demons was sitting in the back seat of that Jeep, and he was the one that fired the fatal shots that killed Christopher Thomas and Anthony Williams.
Investigators believe Melly and another friend then drove the car to a secluded part of Miramar, where they are said to have staged a drive-by shooting to use as a cover story. But Melly's defense team has maintained there are major holes in the state's case, even bringing their own witness who said Melly learned about the murders at the same time as the rest of their friend group.
There's a lack of evidence, there is a conflict in the evidence, and the evidence itself and the investigation itself stinks.
And the jury did have a chance to decide on a lesser charge. This case will be retrialed, so we will keep you updated. We're here in Fort Lauderdale. I'm Joseph Ojo, Local 10 News.
Now, in 2026, everything circles back to one question. Should he stay behind bars or walk free until 2027? His defense paints a picture of isolation, years in custody, alone, cut off, potentially breaking down. Prosecutors pushed back, describing something entirely different, a private unit, a rec yard, even a basketball court. Then comes a letter, allegedly written from inside, describing life not as punishment, but as comfort.
Rapper YNW Melly back in court today, arguing to be released from jail before his retrial on murder charges next year. Local 10's Magda Louisin is joining us live from Fort Lauderdale with the latest from today's hearing. Magdala.
Janice, today both sides made their case on why they believe this rapper should be out or should not bond out. But the judge will have to take all of this into consideration and make a decision later on.
Rapper YNW Melly, whose real name is Jamel Demons, defense team says he has been in jail long enough. The rapper has been in a Broward County jail since 2019. He's accused of murdering 2 of his friends. In a special bond hearing called an Arthur hearing, the defense team laid out a number of reasons why their client should be free while he waits for his retrial in 2027. His attorneys say there's a house in Broward County that the rapper can live in. They brought in a security expert to testify the home will have the cameras it needs to monitor all of his moves in the house.
Because you want complete visibility at all times, so you can make sure when you're involved that the court's order is being complied with, correct?
Yes, because I don't want to put myself in a situation where
Another point for the defense, they claim the rapper could have psychological breakdowns because he's alone in solitary confinement. The prosecution offered a different opinion, telling the judge YNW Melly has an open dorm to himself with a shower, TV, and a basketball court, and can also see a psychologist. Prosecutors even had a deputy read some letters the rapper wrote that says he loves it here.
They moved me to another jail. It's way better here. I get a whole unit to myself. I'm out all day and I got a rec yard, personal indoor basketball court all to myself. It's like a mansion. They treat me way better here.
His mom is in the hallway crying when she hears the testimony about how her child lives. And so I think to say that it's going to be no better when at least he is released so he can feel the tenderness, the hug of his mom.
Now, the rapper was 19 years old when he went in for all of these charges. He will be 27 tomorrow. The judge did not make it clear when exactly he will.
At 5:30, rapper YNW Melly back in court today, asking a judge to grant him some bond.
Melly will be retried on charges he murdered his childhood best friend, then tried to make it look like a drive-by shooting. Local 10's Magda Louisin, live in Fort Lauderdale with today's developments. Magda.
Louis and Christy, you know, both sides presented their points on why he should or should not bond out. And right now, at this moment, this decision is really in the hands of a Broward County judge.
Rapper YNW Melly, whose real name is Jamel Demons, defense team says he has been in jail long enough. The rapper has been in a Broward County jail since 2019. He's accused of murdering 2 of his friends. In a special bond hearing called an Arthur hearing, the defense team laid out a number of reasons why their client should be free while he waits for his retrial in 2027. His attorneys say there's a house in Broward County that the rapper can live in. They brought in a security expert to testify the home will have the cameras it needs to monitor all of his moves in the house.
Because you want complete visibility at all times, so you can make sure when you're involved that the court's order is being complied with, correct?
Yes, because I don't want to put myself in a situation where
Another point for the defense, they claim the rapper could have psychological breakdowns because he's alone in solitary confinement. The prosecution offered a different opinion, telling the judge YNW Melly has an open dorm to himself with a shower, TV, and a basketball court, and can also see a psychologist. Prosecutors even had a deputy read some letters the rapper wrote that says he loves it here.
They moved me to another jail. It's way better here. I get a whole unit to myself. I'm out all day and I got a rec yard, personal indoor basketball court all to myself. It's like a mansion. They treat me way better here.
His mom is in the hallway crying when she hears the testimony about how her child lives. And so I think to say that it's going to be no better when at least he is released so he can feel the tenderness, the hug of his mom.
And to give you more context on how long this has been going on, this rapper went in when he was 19 years old. He will be turning 27 tomorrow. The judge weighing in both sides and will make a decision soon. He did not say, though, when that will be.
2 narratives, 2 completely different realities, and somewhere in between, the truth. Now, a judge holds the power to decide what happens next, freedom or more waiting. But the real question is, when the retrial finally begins, what will finally come to light? Jamel Demons would be conceived when his mother, Jamie Demons King, was only 14 years old. Being a child herself, she lived with her mother in an apartment before beginning to work at Dunkin' Donuts after they moved to the lower end of Gifford, Florida, known to have widespread poverty. Jamel will find ways to cope with his new environment, bumping on the porch with his radio. One day, he will pop in his only CD, Chris Brown's first album, and while dancing, he will for the first time meet one of the friends he is now accused of murdering, Christopher Thomas Jordan, aka YNW Juvie, and their friendship was inseparable, and he will build a bond with more like him that were like-minded with bigger. Anthony Williams, aka YNW Sack Chaser, an accomplice to the murder of their two friends, Cortland Henry, aka YNW Bortland. Let's sidetrack a sec to pay close attention to a founding member of YNW that oftentimes goes unnoticed, Jalen Green, aka YNW J Green. YNW J Green was one of the first three to form the Young Nigga World YNW Collective alongside Melly and Juvie.
Was you ever in YNW? Or,
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. It was all that we started that shit. It was me, Melly, and Juvie and Seth.
Young Nigga World, bitch. Young Nigga World.
Okay.
Unfortunately, there would be a falling out between him and Melly that would cause him to distance himself from the group. But later, they would squash it, realizing they were tweaking just off being young and wildin'.
And when it was just like, it was like pride and ego, you feel me? Like, nigga don't want to do this, nigga don't want to do that, you feel me? It's like, everybody want to be the star, everybody didn't know their position, you feel me? Everybody want to play this other position. Yeah. Everybody got certain attitudes about each other, you feel me? Even though we all grew up with each other, we all, you know what I'm saying? We all know each other, for real, for real. So it's like, it's really like some jitterbug shit, like some kid shit, you feel me? Your shit just escalated to the internet. It's like, I don't have those type of attitudes towards, you feel me, niggas that I say I love. If I call you my brother, you feel me? I don't got no jealousy or no hatred, no, you feel me? So when I see like shit like that, I like to fall back. Yeah, it was just time, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't never about nothing, you feel me? It was just like, nobody wanted to talk to each other, you feel me? Like, everybody was just like, man, fuck that, I want to do my own shit, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what it came to, you feel me? But like, it wasn't really nothing, never that deep, you feel me?
Now he goes by just Jay Green, but still respects the YNW name.
So you still YNW or you just Jay Green?
Oh man, I'm just Jay Green, man. Okay. I'm YNW 4L though. Right. I'm still a young nigga for life.
Melly would claim to have his career path revealed to him by God in the 4th grade during a kindergarten rendition where he had the lead role for the classic Lion King style in school, but his mind was hiding someone in him that he kept from the world. He would be put on Adderall at only the 7th grade and confined to a crazy house for 7 days after carrying a knife to school, trying to slit both him and another student's throat.
You need to go take her now. Shut the fuck up before I take you to my trap. Okay. Get your ass 33rd. Matter of fact, a goal line. Okay. If your brother run up, that boy gonna get closed. All right. That nigga said, let it go. 7th grade. So how
they started you on Adderall in the 7th grade?
Hell yeah, I was in the 7th grade. They sent me to the bakery at. Shit.
What incident? Was there an incident that transpired that got you there? What happened?
Yeah.
What happened?
Oh shit! It's finna be some crazy shit.
Kept bringing knives to school and shit. I fucked around and pulled one out on one of the motherfuckers in the lunchroom.
So you pulled a knife out on someone in school?
Yeah, I did some terrorist type shit. They was like, what the fuck?
You said terrorist?
Yeah. I was crazy. I was crazy. I was about to slice my neck, slice her neck. Fuck it.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, then they just sent me to the crazy home and I got right. They put me on.
How long were you in there?
7 days.
Melly would be diagnosed with bipolar disorder and ADHD.
Well, you're not diagnosed with bipolar or anything like that.
Yeah, I am.
Word.
So you are bipolar.
And ADHD.
Damn.
And the different sides of him slowly began creeping out. According to a now grown Melly, he has a total of 6 personalities, but he keeps 3 hidden from the world until the right time.
How many personalities do you have?
6.
6?
Yeah.
What are the 6?
I can only reveal 3
Wait, why?
because the other 3 aren't going to be able to be released until next year.
Oh, okay. Okay, so tell me the 3.
You got Marcus. You got YNW Melly, the rapper. You got Melvin, but Melvin just started rapping too.
So what are the 3 personas? Like, what's different about each one?
Melvin don't play no game. For
Okay.
sure. He on your ass. Melly, he just, he cool. He funny. He cocky.
He cocky?
He be talking this shit.
Okay. I think I met him when he walked in.
Yeah, I think. I don't
Talking
know.
shit. Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. And then, Marcus, he the one, like, I be in disguise. Like, if I got, like, the shades on
Okay.
and a hat, and you can't really tell who I am, and I'm doing some regular people shit, so I can just feel like,
A regular person.
Yeah.
The 3, the childhood event that triggered his fantasy for death was when he stumbled upon a gun under the bed of his uncle's house. Melly will fire the weapon and he will fall in love with its sound and power.
I found my first gun when I was 9 years old. Ever since then, like, growing up, I was so addicted to them. I love them. If you up that bitch at a nigga and bust his ass, that's his soul in that. Like, it's death in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? All I gotta do is up this motherfucker and your ass just you disappear. Real shit, bro. I like how them bitches look, for real. I'm in love with them.
As with the knife incident, Melvin showed how dark the level of his thoughts go. Melly's life would change at 16 years old when he was charged with 3 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and 1 count of discharging a firearm in public when he fired into a group of kids at a school.
Basically, like, 10th grade, really.
Okay. Were you getting in a lot of trouble?
Yeah, I had went to jail for the school shooting thing I did.
School shooting thing?
Yeah, I was shooting by the school.
Oh.
Another follow-up, a teenager has been arrested in Vero Beach after he fired shots near Vero Beach High School. It happened yesterday just before 2:30. Vero Beach police tell us the 16-year-old male pointed a firearm at 3 other males. He was taken into custody and faces several charges, including 3 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
This all shine. His signing to 100K management solidified his fame. Melly and his YNW crew were taking over, living lavish and everything that comes with it. But in 2018, tragedy struck when Melly reportedly lost his day one homies, YNW Sack Chaser and YNW Juvie, to a drive-by shooting. On October 26, 2018, reports began flooding in about the drive-by that shot up Melly's whip, and 2 of the YNW collectives succumbed to their injuries upon arrival to the Memorial Hospital. The story given by YNW Portland, who was the one to bring the victims to the hospital, was that the crew, excluding Melly, had just left the studio in Fort Lauderdale, and as they entered the freeway, a car pulled up and opened fire, hitting Sack Chaser and Juvie in the head, torso, and back. Melly would mourn the passing of his brothers online with heartfelt posts to social media. But the world still banged together to share comfort for the rapper's loss. Law enforcement was working behind the scene on investigations into another theory, and soon, Melly would have his world turned upside down. The story broke when YNW Portland was arrested in February 2019 for his role in the murder of Sack Chaser and Juvie. Melly would release a message to his fans before turning himself into authorities. It was then that the true severity of the allegations was coming to light. Basically, What authorities believe is that Melly and Bortland staged the entire drive-by to cover up that the one that murked their friends was none other than Melly himself.
Now at 5:37, 2 men are in jail this morning, including an up-and-coming Florida rapper. Both men are charged in a double murder. Police are saying the two staged a crime scene to make it look like a drive-by shooting. CBS 4's Carly Barnett is live at the Broward County Jail in Fort Lauderdale with more. Carly.
Lauren, this Florida rapper YNW Melly, as well as another man, are being held here at the Broward County Jail this morning. They are each charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, and they're also accused of, as you said, staging this crime scene to appear as though it was a drive-by shooting. Cortland Henry and Jamel Demons, who is better known as YNW Melly, are sitting in jail charged with shooting and killing Anthony Williams and Christopher Thomas Jr. Now, this happened back in October. We actually have aerial footage of the scene at Memorial Miramar Hospital. The victims, Anthony Williams and Christopher Thomas Jr., were dropped off at the hospital where they were pronounced dead. The shooting actually took place at another location. Miramar police has not released where exactly this took place, but they say through forensic evidence, they were able to determine that this crime scene was staged. Now, these 2 victims were also aspiring rappers, and they were apparently friends of Jamel Demons, or YNW Melly. He even took to social media after police say he shot and killed them to mourn their deaths. Now, he appeared in court yesterday. At this point, Cortland Henry has not made a court appearance, but we will continue to keep you updated both on air and online. Live at the Broward County Jail, Carly Barnett, CBS 4 this morning.
A civil suit has been brought against a rap artist recruited by Kanye West and others for the wrongful death of 2 of his crew members. YNW Melly, whose real name is Jamel Demons, also faces murder charges in a criminal court case over the killings of Anthony Williams and Christopher Thomas Jr. Police in Miramar, Florida say Demons killed the victims in October of 2018 and staged the crime to look like a drive-by shooting. Attorney John Phillips represents the families for the victim, Christopher Thomas Jr., in the civil suit. He joins us live to discuss the case. John, hi, Brian. First and foremost, thank you for coming here today and sharing your wisdom. Now, let's jump right into the questions. As I'm looking at this motion, you're literally going after everyone and their mother in this civil suit. Walk me through how the claim connects Jamie King, Demon's mother, and Jameson Francois, his manager.
Right. So as far as Jamie King goes, she had a bit of a battle of words, so to speak, before this happened with the other defendant, YNW Sack Chaser, and actually said she's got bigger guns than him, he's not going to intimidate her, and that allegedly led to the altercation. All of a sudden, Sack Chaser and Juvie, Chris Thomas Jr., are killed from within inside the car, not from a drive-by, from outside the car. And the question is, did Jamie King incite this? And then with everybody else, because it was staged, because the items from the murder, the gun, the broken glass, were all covered up and removed from the scene, then we've kind of expanded the circle because we were at the end of a statute of limitations with a criminal case that wasn't going anywhere fast because of COVID.
Now, I like the fact that you brought up that back and forth between Jamie King and what she's claiming is back and forth. When you hear that, if those claims that the decedent whose family you're representing, Mr. Thomas Jr., does have that kind of back and forth, do you feel that affects this case in any way, shape, or form?
Yeah, it was Mr. Williams, YNW Sack Chaser, that had the back and forth with her, and she filmed a video. We have it where she basically said, "I've got bigger guns," and threatened him. And then if you fast forward past the shooting, a month after the shooting, Melly releases a video, according to the state attorney, saying, basically, "You never shut up, we got you." If you add those 2 videos together, and they're both what the state attorney says they are, sounds like to me you have a motive and an admission of a murder.
Gotcha. Now, let's go to what we're probably going to be anticipating on the back end of this, damages. In your motion, you quote say millions or tens of millions or more are the damages. I get that the jury decides the actual dollar amount, but what's the kind of thought process of putting that pen to paper and saying that amount or that unspecified amount?
You know, people get so confused, non-lawyers get so confused when we allege the statutory minimum. In Florida, the statutory minimum is 30. So we'll say, you know, damages exceed $30,000, and it's always, oh, they only want $30,000. And so we just kind of spelled it out that this is millions to tens of millions, depending upon how the facts work. Ultimately, that's up to a jury, but that's why we pled it as the way we pled it.
All right, last question, John. This is a pretty strong case as I see it thus far. Is there anything about this case that maybe keeps you up at night and think, hey, I got to think of a strategy here?
The whole thing keeps me up at night. You know, these were all really good friends that wound up killing other good friends and covering it up. And it's disturbing. You know, we understand Melly has vibrant fans, but there's been death threats even of me. And we urge peace and justice. Like, it's going to take some time to get the criminal trial and the civil trial over with, but it's just, you know, we got to let justice take its course.
All right, John Phillips, I want to thank you very much for joining us here today, and best of luck with the upcoming case and civil suit.
Thank you.
The charges were damning. Bortland, whose real name is Cortland Henry, was charged with 2 counts of premeditated murder and 2 counts of accessory after the fact and held without bond.
Mr. Henry, you're before the court today for 2 counts of premeditated murder and 2 counts of accessory after the fact of first-degree felony. And so I do find probable cause, and
They're simple, really simple questions.
I further find a proof evident presumption great. It's a preliminary finding without prejudice. So Mr. Henry will be held no bond on these.
Melly, real name Jamel Demons, was charged with 2 counts of premeditated murder and was also held without bond.
Switching gears now to an arrest in the murders of 2 men in Miramar, a South Florida rapper is now facing charges. Local 10 News reporter Parker Brandon is live in Fort Lauderdale, where the suspect just went before a judge. Parker.
Yeah, Larry, the South Florida rapper did not have much to say, making his first appearance in court after being accused of killing 2 men he called his friends.
Mr. Demons, come on up. Your private attorney's right there.
Jamel Demons, also known as up-and-coming rapper YNW Melly, is making his first appearance inside a Broward courtroom.
Jamel, remember, you don't speak to anyone but me or Mr. Cohn. Remember that.
And I got murder on my mind.
Known for one of his biggest hits, Murder on My Mind, now the rapper is being accused of that. Police say Demons murdered 2 men back in October, 21-year-old Anthony Williams on the left and 19-year-old Christopher Thomas Jr. Investigators believe 20-year-old Cortland Henry and Demons staged a scenario, saying Henry drove Williams and Thomas Jr. to Miramar Memorial Hospital and claimed they were victims of a drive-by shooting. The back windshield of a 2018 Jeep on scene appeared to be shot up. Both men died at the hospital. One day after the duo's death, the rapper tweeting, quote, "They took my brothers from me over jealousy." However, detectives say that story didn't add up. Following a forensic investigation, Wednesday night, police taking YNW Melly and Henry into custody, accusing the rapper of shooting and killing the men he called his friends. The rapper defending himself on social media, saying in part, quote, "Unfortunately, a lot of rumors and lies are being said, but God is with me." State prosecutors asking in court for there to be no contact between Demons and Henry. Ultimately, Judge Jackie Powell says the rapper will remain in jail without bond.
Mr. Demons, you're facing 2 counts of premeditated murder, and the court does find probable cause.
And attorneys for YNW Melly said they did not have any comment leaving the courtroom today. Meantime, his alleged accomplice, Cortland Henry, is expected to appear later this afternoon. We're live in Fort Lauderdale. Parker Branson, Local 10 News.
Given the level of the crime, Louisiana hood legend Boosie advised the use of the lawyer that got him off death row, Jason Williams.
YNW Melly hired the same lawyers that you used for your murder trial.
Right.
You heard about this?
Yeah, I helped him out with that. I told him who to go get. Nah, not like that. I was just reaching out and just letting them know that you know, you need to get Jason Williams. I had other people reaching out to him. Everybody just telling them, hey, you go get Jason, you know. Just go get Jason, you know. Go get Jason, period.
But even with Jason, the case had a lot of roadblocks coming that would stop Melly's freedom dead in its tracks. Authorities would release findings on their investigations, and the information documents appeared like the nail in the coffin for Melly and Bortland. Officers had cell phone videos, Snapchat messages, videos, snitches, the whole nine. Investigations began picking apart plot holes in the original story. Firstly, Bortland told authorities it was a drive-by and that Melly wasn't in the car as he went in a separate vehicle when they left the studio. That's the first contradiction. There was another person in the studio by the name of Dontavius Withers who informed authorities he was present at the studio with Melly, Bortland, Juvie, and Sack Chaser, but upon leaving, they went in separate vehicles and was unaware where Melly went afterwards. That was also a contradiction. Investigators found that to be untrue upon finding out that he was in the company of Melly at, get this, Fredo Bain's crib after the shooting. Investigators would then double back to the studio where the manager confirmed the crew was present, and footage from the studio shows all four leave in the same vehicle, a gray Jeep with Bortland driving, Melly in the left back seat, Sack Chaser in the front passenger seat, and Juvie in the right back seat. Upon being pressed by authorities, Withers would change his initial story, saying Melly left with Bortland and them first, but then got a message on Snapchat to meet up, and that's when Melly got in his whip. Here's where investigators outwitted their tactic. Officers obtained a warrant for the phones of Melly, Bortland, Juvie, and Sack, and by mapping out the routes from each, they found that Melly was in a gray Jeep the entire time and never met up with Withers. Instead, his phone location went separate from the Jeep just minutes before Bortland went to the hospital. Before that time, the Jeep proceeded to circle one area for a length of time. This connected a lot of the dots to the authorities' theory that Bortland initially stalled carrying Sack and Juvie to the hospital so they could scheme up the story of the drive-by when they themselves were the shooters. But that's a large speculation, even if the stories by Bortland and Withers didn't add up. On top of that, investigators concluded that it could not be a drive-by shooting based on the evidence reported from the autopsy. The report shows that the wound path for each victim was contradictory to that of one that comes from outside, but more matching a scenario where the bullets were shot from inside, mainly from the seat Melly was located. Investigators would hit a gold mine when they found a shell casing inside the vehicle and a plastic bag by Melly matching casings on the outside of the vehicle. What does this mean? To investigators, it supported their claim that Melly was the one that pulled the trigger, so the entire drive-by was staged as a cover-up. But the cops didn't stop there. They still needed more to have an airtight case. They called in the help of the K9 unit, who they used along with data from the phone locations to track what they label as the real crime scene. There, they found evidence that set Melly even further back. Officers would collect 8 .40 caliber shell casings, the same bullets that were found on the floor at Melly's seat. Not only that, but shattered glass that matched the Jeep, also located at the scene. These findings make the theory something of a reality to the case now, as it means the vehicle was stopped at that location and bullets fired in to stage the murder, then moved on. This matches up with the time patterns and movement found in the phone tracking made possible by the network Melly used. Being on T-Mobile, a network which allows various data to be collected, even as detailed as when someone is mobile or stationary, cops had all the info they needed to piece together their case. Findings would suggest that the trajectory of the bullets into the vehicle were inconsistent with the story of a drive-by. I know it's a lot, but follow me closely here. Check out the images. Cops mapped out the entire trajectory of the bullets, and it showed a shocking discovery. The bullets weren't matching up to ones shot by a moving vehicle in a drive-by, but rather from someone sitting inside of the vehicle. And also, the wounds inflicted on Sack and Juvie came from close range and at angles consistent with them being fired from where Melly was located. By now, things look pretty grim for Melly and Bortland, but investigators weren't letting their foot off the gas. Turns out, as stated in court documents, Melly's manager, Jameson Francois, aka 100K Track, was ordered to hand over Melly's phone, and he passed on the actual phone into their hands. Many have come down on him for not denying having the phone or providing another phone instead of the one Melly had. This phone was like the smoking gun to the case. It allowed for the tracking and, worse yet, for the finding of a video of Melly apparently admitting to the hit. Authorities will also find Snapchat messages between Melly and his girl 14 days after the incident occurred that seemed to speak on his respect and protection of Bortland after he held it down and helped carry out the act. This info must have hurt not only Melly and Bortland, but his manager as well, given that reports label him early on as someone that has steadily been trying to sideline the investigation. The evidence at this point was a mountain that was becoming more and more unclimbable. But wait, there's more. Cops would interview another witness, Jacoby Mills, that was present in the vehicle that left with Withers. This was the break authorities needed. He would provide answers to a range of questions by law enforcement. He would tell authorities he too was told it was a drive-by that took his friends' lives, but that changed when he met up at Fredo Bang's house with Melly present. He said Melly was acting strange and crying, but from his demeanor, it appeared fake to him and insincere. No matter how much he asked Melly who shot them, Melly would remain silent. Kobe then told authorities that him, along with Melly, Bortland, and Track, went to a woody location led by Bortland and recovered a .40 cal covered in blood, like the same matching the bullets found at the crime scene. He then stated Track took the gun and vouched to take care of it, after which the alleged murder weapon was never to be found again, even after cops searched Track's apartment on a warrant after the interview. The final piece of evidence that ties the entire investigation together was a recording of Melly's mom that gives probable cause to the double murder. In the clip, she states Melly showed her messages of Sack Chaser threatening her and her loved ones with a gun, then proceeds to send back one of her own saying her son Melly has bigger guns.
Show me text messages from Sack Chaser threatening all her friends and all these people like he's about this life. But I'm sitting here like, who the fuck you ever robbed? Who the fuck you ever shot at? What the fuck you ever did? Nigga, you couldn't even take a fucking weed charge. If you don't sit your pussy ass down and don't ever come for me, because my credentials is real. It ain't even a joke. So don't ever try to come for me, because I don't even play them type of games. Like, what the fuck you got that I ain't got? Oh, you threaten me with your little gun? Bitch, I got big guns. At the end of the day, Melly is my child. And he is gonna be great because he's talented. He's talented because his mom, not because of your little ass, retarded ass. Because you was a
The odds seem fully stacked against Melly. To date, the latest news was the May 23rd release of Bortland on $90,000 bond to await trial on house arrest. Unfortunately, in April 2021, Bortland violated the terms of his release by turning up at various strip clubs, which got him right back in the pen with his bond revoked. As it stands, they are both again incarcerated and awaiting trial to see if the case leads in their favor or in the direction of the law. While Bortland will be facing life, Melly, on the other hand, is being tried by Broward prosecutors for the death penalty, so the stakes are high. Alright y'all, there y'all have it. That's the story of YNW Melly. Hey man, get in the comment section, let me know what y'all think. Drillers and trappers, we out here trapping and drilling. Don't go nowhere, watch that next video.